Okay, I'm Jeff with the OceanView Mine. Today, with some help from my good friend Brian, Blue Cat Productions, we are going to do a little video to show you the proper way to screen out here. After 15 years of doing this, we've watched thousands of people screen, and there's a lot of common mistakes people make that often lead to them not finding as much. We find that people get out here and they're excited and they're talking to their friends and they don't really absorb much of what we show them, and then they turn around and make mistakes that cost them success. And we really want them to find stuff when they come out here. So we're going to start with the screening technique is very critical, and we feel you're going to absorb more of it in this format. Okay, the bucket filling, we call it pile digging. When you go and sort through everything on the pile, we ask that you not do that, because when we have a group of people here like this, everybody paid the same amount as you did to participate, and we feel they all need the same opportunity. So if some of them are over there digging on the pile, forcing me to fill my bucket with something they've already dug through, you can see that people don't like that. So we have to really watch that pile. We call it pile digging. We want everybody to have the same opportunity. So what we have a rule of thumb is we only want you on that pile for 5 or 10 seconds, not 5 or 10 minutes. Sitting on the pile, all those things lead to pile digging. Pick a spot and lay your bucket right on the side of the pile. Don't put your body's weight into it because it won't support you. And just take your little shovel and start sliding it into the bucket. If you're doing this, if you're doing stuff like this, you're pile digging. You're looking through this, you're pile digging. You need to, anything that you touch should be going into your bucket. Now this is something we enforce for the greater good of the group. We have to enforce that because there's always somebody who doesn't want to play by the rules. That's about the right amount for the screen. And you can see that it only took me 5, 6, 7 seconds at the most. So that's how you fill your bucket. And you can do that as many times as you want. After going to the pile and filling my bucket, I bring my bucket to the screen and I dump it gently onto the screen. Now that I've gently dumped my bucket onto my screen, I'm going to use my little tool that we provide, and I'm going to start working the material through the screen. We find a lot of people want to start shaking like this. It's really not strong enough to hold the weight. There's a lot of weight on the screen. So we really want you to do it this way. Start working your material. And what I'm doing is I'm working it through the 1/2-inch mesh onto the 1/4-inch mesh. Whatever combination of this you want to use. Just go ahead and work it through, and then it's going to get more and more rocks in it because the sand part of it's disappearing. And as these large rocks start to appear, you want to pick them up, rinse them, and look at them. And what I'm looking for are matrix pieces. These are black tourmalines, but not really what we're looking for. There's a piece of a quartz crystal. So I'm looking for the better pieces that I want to keep. And if I find something that I want to keep, it goes right in my bucket. You should all bring a bucket from home, and all your rocks go right in the bucket, and then that way they're just in there. And we ask that you throw your discards right through the hole in the table, so you're not throwing them back here and stumbling over them. Now you'll see there's nothing bigger than a golf ball. Now at this point, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to give it a little shake, being careful not to shake it out here. Anything that falls through here still could be a nice piece of tourmaline or something. You want to catch it on here. So you wouldn't want your screens like that, or lots of mistakes people make. They're doing this, and how do you know that you just didn't lose something good? Now I'm going to go into the water. There's really nothing else I can do to clean this. Anything that fell through here is now on this screen. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, when they go in the water, most everybody wants to do this. And we're not panning for gold, so you're not slopping water all over. Just put your screen in the water, and take your hands and you literally need to wash the gravel. It's really not sufficient to just dip it, because especially the gem crystals can have a clay coating on them. Now you see how clean I got it that way. You really need to get it clean so you can see what you're looking for. Now right here is where a critical mistake is often made. People put their screen back on top of here and it makes even more mud. The dripping water really needs to be dripping through the table, not onto this. Keep this dry. Okay, we're going to search this screen first. And this is where I see perhaps the biggest mistake made. People just have a tendency to want to, what I call dog paddle through the screen. And they leave all that on there, and they're hoping they get lucky. But these things have a tendency to get down and hide amongst this gravel and often don't get found. We know this because of what we pick up off the ground. In fact, this morning we picked a big pink up off the ground. Somebody literally threw it away. So to combat that, what the best way to do this is to start picking up handfuls, and as you look at them, throw your discards under the table. And then we're never looking at those rocks again. We're going to look at these rocks. And progressively, there's less and less of them. So your brain can really register that. And I'm going to throw that under the table. And so on. Now, when you find something, I have a few examples here. And when you find something, it's going to be really obvious. Okay, you can see in my right hand, I have the waste rocks, which is going to be primarily these. They're pieces of feldspar, quartz, mica, different things on them. And then the pieces of gem material are going to be quite obvious. When one comes, it jumps right out at you. You may not know what you have, but you can see these are pieces of gem materials or crystals, and these are rocks. So you really got to get through. You can see even if you put that amongst the rocks, or that aquamarine, or that tourmaline, or that quartz crystal, you can really see them readily compared to the surrounding rocks. It's very obvious. Even though you are at a gem mine, they're still hard to find. That being said, you will find them if you do it the correct way and follow our instructions. I would say the correct time to dump your tray is when you get it about like that. I found a piece right down at the end here. So about like that, spread it out. You can see there's not much on it, and there's very little chance I missed anything, and there's really no place for them to hide. So at that point, I'm going to dump my top tray, and this is how you dump it. You tip your screen slightly downhill and just give it a tap and let gravity. I see a lot of people trying to go uphill and dump it out, and it doesn't come out of their screen. Okay, so we're going to put that one out of our way, and we're going to focus on this one. Now, this may seem like a good idea to start doing that, but it tears up the equipment. We don't want you to rub the screen on the table. So this is where your little tool comes back in. Now, at some point, you can pick it up and shake it. I'm going to give this a little rub with my hand. I'm going to try to get as much of the sand off as I can before I go in the water. The cleaner I have my gravel going in, the cleaner it is going to be coming out. So now about that stage, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same step. I'm going to drop my screen in there, and I'm going to take both hands, and I'm going to rub my gravel. I'm literally washing my gravel. A lot of people just want to do this, and it really doesn't get it clean enough. You see how clean I got that? You're going to have more success when you can really see what you're looking for. Okay, now you want to come back over to the corner. You want to use this table corner for more support. So that way the tub of water is free from your neighbor here can use the tub of water. All right, so now you start picking through this one, and it seems like I watch a lot of people just glance at it, but it doesn't take a very big tourmaline to make you happy if it's a nice one. So what you want to do is start picking this gravel up, and I see a lot of mica, a lot of lepidolite. Basically just process of elimination. I'm going to look at this handful. There's a tourmaline. There's a tourmaline right there. Looks like a dark one, but you can see nice little tourmaline. Now if that's a nice pink one, so I would put that in my bucket or in my pocket, and I would start moving on looking for some more. By the time you get this screen about like that, that's when you can be dumping this one with relative sense that you're not throwing away anything good. Once again, tip your screen, tap it, it's empty. Now, you want to get in the habit of putting your 1/4-inch screen right back down on the corner of this table, and then reaching down here and picking up your 1/2-inch screen. Get them stacked squarely on top of each other. This is not the way you want to do it. You're going to be dropping things through there. You really want to be squarely on top of each other, and then you go and get another bucket. You'd also need to keep an eye on your tub down here, because this stuff it'll build up down here. And we see a lot of people find a lot of nice things in the bottom of their tub. Any one of these things could be a piece of tourmaline. So you have to keep your tub clean anyway, or it'll silt up to the point where you have no water left, only silt. And then it'll turn to cement down here, and you'll lose the chance to recover anything. So we hope you found this helpful to your and enjoy your trip out to the OceanView Mine.